The biggest difference between those who build success and those who stay stuck isn't talent, luck, or even education. It's vision. Successful people see beyond today's comfort and tomorrow's excuses. They don't just react to life, they design it. While the average person focuses on immediate pleasure and short-term relief, visionary thinkers focus on long-term outcomes. They understand that every small choice, what they spend, how they work, where they invest their time, is shaping their future. This awareness builds inner strength and emotional stability. Instead of letting impulses control decisions, they move with clarity and purpose. That's why their growth looks calm, steady, and inevitable. He continues by showing how most people live trapped in routine without direction. They wake up, go to work, spend money, handle problems, and repeat, but never step back to ask where all of this is leading. Visionary thinkers do the opposite. They constantly reflect on where they want to be financially, emotionally, and professionally. That deep reflection allows them to adjust habits before problems grow. When they overspend, they correct quickly. When they lose focus, they realign. This constant awareness keeps them moving forward while others stay in cycles. It's not that they don't make mistakes, it's that they don't stay blind to them. Then he brings it into everyday financial life. He explains that the average person thinks only about paying bills this month, while visionary thinkers plan how to build stability for years ahead. They save even when it feels uncomfortable. They invest in learning even when it costs time and money. They avoid emotional purchases that bring short-term happiness but long-term stress. This behavior doesn't come from being rich. It's what eventually creates wealth. Over time, these choices compound quietly into prosperity. The average person wonders how successful people got lucky, not realizing it was vision guiding thousands of small decisions. He adds that visionary thinking also changes how setbacks are handled. When something goes wrong, the average person feels defeated and emotional. The visionary thinker sees feedback. They ask, "What can I learn from this?" instead of, "Why does this always happen to me?" This mindset builds resilience naturally. Each challenge becomes a lesson instead of a stop sign. That quiet strength allows them to keep moving forward even when progress feels slow. They don't quit when results aren't instant because they're focused on where they're going, not just where they are. He closes this topic by reminding the listener that success isn't a sudden moment, it's a direction. Those who think with vision create lives with structure, growth, and stability. Those who live without vision drift from problem to problem, paycheck to paycheck, emotion to emotion. Vision is what separates movement from progress. Once someone understands this, everything begins to shift. Habits, decisions, and results. And with that foundation in place, the next step becomes clear, understanding how the mind actually creates reality long before results ever appear. Every result someone experiences in life is first created internally, long before it shows up physically. The mind forms patterns of thought, expectation, and behavior that quietly shape daily choices. Those choices, repeated over time, become outcomes. Successful people understand this and intentionally train their thinking toward growth, stability, and progress. They don't wait for circumstances to change before changing themselves. Instead, they adjust their mindset first. This mental shift strengthens emotional balance and sharpens focus. When the mind is aligned with long-term goals, decisions become calmer and smarter, especially around money and work. He continues by showing how most people allow their environment to control their thinking. Stress creates fear, fear creates impulsive reactions, and impulsive reactions create financial and emotional problems. Visionary thinkers reverse this cycle. They take control of their internal dialogue before life pressures them. When bills show up, they don't panic. They plan. When challenges arise, they don't collapse. They adapt. This awareness builds quiet inner strength. The mind stops seeing problems as threats and starts seeing them as situations to manage strategically. Over time, this creates stability and steady progress. Then he connects this concept directly to everyday financial habits. Someone who believes stability is possible will naturally behave differently with money. They track expenses, avoid emotional spending, and think ahead. Someone who believes struggle is inevitable reacts impulsively and avoids responsibility. The belief shapes the behavior, and the behavior shapes the result. This is why growth always begins internally. By training the mind to expect progress, people begin making choices that align with prosperity. Small, consistent actions slowly transform reality. He adds that this internal creation process also strengthens resilience. When setbacks happen, the mind doesn't interpret them as failure. It interprets them as adjustments along the path. This prevents emotional breakdowns and impulsive decisions. Instead of quitting, the person refines their approach. This steady response builds long-term success. Over time, challenges lose their power to derail progress because the mind remains anchored in purpose and clarity. He closes this topic by reminding the listener that reality is not random. It's largely the result of repeated thoughts and behaviors working together. Change the internal pattern and the external result follows. When someone learns to guide their mind intentionally, they stop reacting to life and start shaping it. And with that understanding in place, the next lesson becomes clear. Discovering the power of clear vision in achieving long-term success. That vague goals produce vague results. When people say they want more money, a better life, or success, but can't clearly define what that looks like, the mind has nothing specific to work toward. Visionary thinkers are different. They know exactly what they're building, how much they want to save, where they want to live, what kind of work they want to do, and how their daily life should feel. This clarity sharpens focus and strengthens discipline naturally. Instead of wasting energy on random actions, every effort aligns with a clear direction. This is how long-term growth becomes intentional instead of accidental. He continues by showing how clear vision makes decision-making easier. When someone knows where they're headed, they can quickly recognize which choices help and which ones hurt. Emotional spending becomes less tempting because it doesn't fit the bigger picture. Distractions lose their power because they don't serve the goal. This awareness builds emotional balance and impulse. Control without constant struggle. The mind stays calm because it's guided by purpose, not pulled by momentary feelings. Then he brings the lesson into everyday financial life. He explains that people with clear vision don't just work for today's paycheck. They build for future stability. They plan budgets around long-term goals. They save with purpose instead of randomly. They invest in skills that increase income over time. These actions may seem slow at first, but they compound quietly into real prosperity. Meanwhile, those without vision drift financially, reacting to emergencies and relying on luck. The difference isn't income, it's direction. He adds that clear vision also fuels persistence. When challenges appear, the person doesn't give up easily because they know what they're working toward. The goal feels real and personal. This strengthens resilience because setbacks are seen as temporary obstacles, not final outcomes. Vision acts like an anchor during difficult moments, keeping the mind steady and focused. He closes this topic by reminding the listener that success isn't built by random effort. It's built by consistent action, guided by clear purpose. The clearer the vision, the stronger the discipline becomes. Once someone knows exactly where they're going, the daily choices naturally align with that destination. And with that foundation in place, the next lesson becomes clear. Understanding why most people live without direction and how that keeps them stuck. that many people don't lack ability or opportunity. They lack a clear sense of where they're going. Life becomes a cycle of reacting instead of creating. They wake up focused on urgent problems, not long-term goals. Bills, stress, and emotions guide their decisions more than intention. Without direction, even hard work leads nowhere specific. He tells the listener that when the mind isn't guided by vision, it naturally follows comfort and impulse. This weakens focus and emotional balance. Instead of building stability, people drift from situation to situation, wondering why nothing changes. He continues by showing how living without direction slowly drains energy and motivation. When someone doesn't see progress towards something meaningful, daily effort feels pointless. That's when emotional spending increases, procrastination grows, and discipline weakens. The person seeks quick pleasures to escape frustration, unnecessary purchases, distractions, and avoidance of responsibility. This cycle keeps finances unstable and personal growth slow. Visionary thinkers break this pattern by always connecting daily actions to long-term goals. Then he connects it to financial behavior. He explains that people without direction often earn money but never build wealth. They spend based on feelings instead of plans. They react to emergencies instead of preparing for them. Without a financial direction, every paycheck disappears quickly. Visionary people, on the other hand, assign every dollar a purpose. They save intentionally, invest wisely, and control spending. This clarity transforms income into long-term prosperity. He adds that direction also affects emotional resilience. When challenges arise, people without a clear path feel overwhelmed and hopeless. They don't know what they're working toward, so obstacles feel heavier. Those with vision remain calmer because they see problems as part of the journey. This mindset strengthens inner strength and keeps progress steady. He closes this topic by reminding the listener that effort without direction leads to exhaustion, not success. Life becomes easier when actions follow a clear purpose. Once direction is established, discipline grows naturally and progress accelerates. And with that understanding in place, the next lesson becomes clear. Seeing how vision gives purpose to daily discipline. That discipline feels heavy only when it has no clear purpose. When people don't know why they're saving money, waking up early, or controlling spending, those actions feel like punishment. Vision changes that. When someone clearly sees the future they're building, discipline becomes meaningful instead of painful. Every small sacrifice connects to a bigger goal. This shift strengthens emotional balance because actions are no longer driven by force, but by intention. The mind understands that effort today creates freedom tomorrow. He continues by showing how vision transforms routines into powerful habits. A person with direction doesn't see budgeting as restriction. They see it as a tool for stability. They don't see studying or working hard as suffering. They see it as investment. This perspective builds consistency naturally. When daily actions are connected to long-term success, quitting feels harder than continuing. Discipline becomes part of identity instead of something to fight. Then he brings it into financial life. He explains that someone with clear vision knows exactly why. They're controlling expenses. Maybe it's to buy a home, leave debt behind, start a business, or create security for family. That reason fuels persistence during tough moments. When temptation shows up, the long-term goal feels stronger than short-term pleasure. This strengthens impulse control and protects prosperity from emotional decisions. He adds that vision also makes setbacks easier to handle. When progress slows or mistakes happen, the person doesn't give up because they're focused on the destination, not just the discomfort. This builds resilience. The mind remains calm and focused instead of reactive. Over time, discipline stops feeling like effort and starts feeling like alignment. He closes this topic by reminding the listener that discipline without vision fades quickly. but discipline with purpose lasts. When someone connects daily habits to long-term dreams, consistency becomes natural. This is how growth becomes steady and unstoppable. And once this connection is understood, the next lesson becomes clear, discovering the powerful link between vision and strong habits. That habits don't form randomly. They are shaped by what the mind values most. When someone has a clear vision of their future, the brain naturally starts building routines that support that vision. Strong habits grow from strong purpose. Without direction, habits drift toward comfort and convenience. With vision, habits move toward growth and stability. This is why successful people often seem disciplined without struggle. Their daily routines align with what they're building long-term. He continues by showing how vision turns effort into automatic behavior. When someone knows exactly why they're saving, planning, or learning, repeating those actions becomes easier over time. The mind stops resisting because it understands the reward ahead. This builds consistency quietly. Instead of forcing discipline every day, habits take over. This creates emotional stability and reduces impulsive decisions. The person doesn't constantly battle temptation because their routines are already structured for success. Then he connects it to financial habits. Visionary thinkers build systems that protect their money. They automatically set aside savings, track expenses, and plan ahead. These actions don't feel dramatic, but they steadily build prosperity. Meanwhile, people without vision rely on willpower alone, which eventually fades. Strong habits remove the need for constant self-control by making good behavior the default. He adds that habits also shape identity. When someone consistently acts in disciplined ways, they begin seeing themselves as organized, responsible, and focused. This self-image strengthens emotional balance and impulse control. Acting against these habits feels uncomfortable, which keeps the person aligned with growth. He closes this topic by reminding the listener that vision creates direction and habits create momentum. When both work together, progress becomes automatic. Success stops depending on motivation and starts flowing from daily routines. And once this connection is clear, the next lesson becomes obvious. Understanding why successful people think years ahead instead of only about today. That successful people don't live only for today's comfort. They constantly consider how today's choices will affect their future. While most people focus on immediate rewards, visionary thinkers focus on long-term outcomes. This mindset changes everything: how they spend money, how they manage time, and how they handle challenges. Thinking ahead strengthens emotional balance because decisions are no longer driven by short-term feelings. Instead, they're guided by long-term goals. This creates stability and steady progress. He continues by showing how long-term thinking naturally improves financial behavior. Someone who thinks years ahead doesn't waste money on impulse purchases that bring quick pleasure, but long-term stress. They prioritize saving, investing, and building skills that increase income over time. These decisions may feel slow, but they compound quietly into prosperity. Meanwhile, short-term thinkers often struggle financially because they constantly trade tomorrow for today. Then he connects long-term vision to resilience. When setbacks happen, people who think only about the present feel defeated quickly, but those who see the bigger picture stay calmer. They understand that one bad month doesn't define their future. This mindset allows them to adjust and keep moving forward instead of quitting. It builds inner strength and persistence naturally. He adds that thinking ahead also reduces anxiety. When someone plans for the future, they feel more in control. They prepare for emergencies, create financial buffers, and set clear goals. This preparation lowers stress and improves emotional control. Life feels less chaotic and more intentional. He closes this topic by reminding the listener that success is rarely about one big decision. It's about thousands of small choices made with the future in mind. When someone learns to think long-term, discipline becomes easier and growth becomes predictable. And with that understanding, the next lesson becomes clear: discovering how imagination fuels progress and growth. That imagination isn't about fantasy. It's about mentally exploring what's possible before it becomes real. Successful people constantly picture better outcomes, improved finances, stronger habits, and bigger goals. This mental process gives direction to effort. When the mind can clearly imagine progress, it becomes easier to work toward it. Imagination strengthens focus because the brain knows what it's aiming for. Instead of drifting through routines, each action connects to a bigger purpose. He continues by showing how imagination motivates disciplined behavior naturally. When someone vividly imagines financial freedom, stability, or career success, daily sacrifices feel worthwhile. Skipping unnecessary spending, waking up early, and staying consistent all feel connected to something meaningful. This builds emotional balance because the person isn't forcing effort. They're inspired by the future they're creating. Then he connects imagination to financial growth. He explains that people who imagine long-term success are more likely to invest in learning, save consistently, and plan strategically. They see money as a tool for building the life they envision, not just for temporary pleasure. This mindset builds prosperity gradually and sustainably. He adds that imagination also strengthens resilience. When challenges arise, those with a strong vision can mentally see beyond current struggles. This helps them stay calm and focused instead of emotional and reactive. They know setbacks are temporary and part of the journey. He closes this topic by reminding the listener that imagination creates the blueprint for reality. What the mind can see clearly, the body can work towards steadily. When imagination is guided by discipline, progress becomes unstoppable. And with that understanding in place, the next lesson becomes clear: learning the role of focus in turning vision into reality. Before you leave, take a second and really think about this. If you keep living the same way you are today, where will you be in 5 years? Will your habits be building prosperity or slowly draining your future? Success doesn't come from wishing, watching, or waiting. It comes from clear vision, disciplined action, and daily commitment. So here's the challenge. What is one habit you'll start today that moves you closer to the life you imagine? Write it in the comments and turn that decision into reality. If this message opened your mind and pushed you to think bigger, make sure you're subscribed to the channel and turn on notifications so you don't miss the next powerful lessons on mindset, discipline, and long-term success. Most people watch and forget. The few who apply are the ones who transform their lives. Don't stop your growth here. Click the next recommended video on your screen right now and keep building the future you deserve. Quiet focus, strong habits, real success.